In a move that has raised eyebrows across the space and political communities, personnel from the Department of Government Efficiency DOGE have descended upon NASA to conduct a sweeping review of the agency's financial practices. This initiative, driven by a mandate from President Donald Trump to trim government spending, signals a potentially significant shift in the oversight of the nation's space agency. Acting NASA Administrator Janet Petro confirmed the on-site review during a recent appearance at the annual Commercial Space Conference in Washington, D.C. "We are a federal agency. We are going to have DOGE come," Petro stated, indicating that the review would mirror similar assessments conducted at other government agencies. While she did not elaborate on the specific parameters of DOGE's investigation or the level of access personnel would have, the implications of this oversight are already stirring controversy. The backdrop to this scrutiny includes a series of executive orders from the Trump administration that have impacted various operational facets at NASA. Just last month, Petro announced the closure of all diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility DIA offices and the cancellation of related contracts, aligning the agency with directives from the White House. Furthermore, NASA staff have been instructed to remove personal pronouns from email display names, further reflecting the administration's ethos. Concerns regarding DOGE's involvement have been amplified by the agency's close ties to private contractor SpaceX, led by CEO Elon Musk. Representative Grace Meng, Democrat, New York, expressed alarm over potential conflicts of interest, describing DOGE as a multi-billion-dollar conflict of interest. She warned that access to NASA's payment data could inadvertently benefit Musk's company at the expense of taxpayers and competitors. This concern is echoed by Representatives Zoe Lofgren, Democrat, California, and Valerie Foushee, Democrat, North Carolina, who highlighted the sensitive nature of NASA's proprietary data, which could be invaluable to SpaceX as it vies for future contracts. The financial stakes are high. SpaceX has received over $14.5 billion in NASA funding to date, with significant contracts tied to the Artemis program and International Space Station operations. As scrutiny mounts, it remains unclear how this review will shape NASA's relationships with its contractors, especially as the agency navigates the complexities of aligning with the Trump administration's fiscal policies. Adding another layer of complexity, Petro recently appointed Michael Altenhofen, a longtime SpaceX employee, as a senior advisor to her office. This move has raised further questions about the intertwining of government and private interests, particularly given that Trump has also chosen Jared Isaacman, a prominent SpaceX customer, as a potential leader at NASA. Isaacman's criticisms of NASA's space launch system, described as outrageously expensive, underscore the tense dynamic at play. Meanwhile, Boeing, a crucial player in the Artemis program, is reportedly laying off hundreds of employees amid anticipated changes, although neither NASA nor the White House has confirmed specific adjustments to the program. This reshuffling within the industry highlights the precarious balance NASA must maintain as it collaborates with both private contractors and government mandates. Looking ahead, the implications of DOGE's review extend beyond immediate financial assessments. As Congress grapples with concerns over transparency and conflicts of interest, the future of NASA's operations and its partnerships with private companies could be irrevocably altered. With the Biden administration's priorities looming on the horizon, the outcomes of this review will likely influence not only NASA's budgetary decisions but also the direction of U.S. space exploration efforts as a whole. The coming months will be critical as stakeholders watch closely for developments in this unfolding narrative, which sits at the intersection of government efficiency and the burgeoning private space sector. In a dramatic turn of events that has captivated the public and raised significant concerns regarding space mission management, 2 NASA astronauts have found themselves stranded aboard the International Space Station ISS for nearly 8 months. As their situation escalated, both Elon Musk and former President Donald Trump stepped into the spotlight, with Musk pledging to bring the astronauts back as soon as possible. The unfolding saga highlights both the complexities of modern space travel and the political ramifications surrounding space agency operations. NASA astronauts Butch, Wilmore, and Suni Williams were originally scheduled for a week-long mission that commenced in June 2024. However, complications arose shortly after their arrival when Boeing's Starliner capsule, which was meant to serve as their transport back to Earth, encountered a series of technical failures including helium leaks and thruster malfunctions. As a result, the Starliner was deemed unsafe for crew return, leaving the astronauts stuck in orbit while plans for their retrieval were formulated. Musk, the CEO of SpaceX, took to social media to express his outrage over the extended delay, attributing the blame to the Biden administration. The POTUS has asked SpaceX to bring home the two astronauts stranded on the space station as soon as possible. "We will do so," Musk stated, emphasizing the urgency of the situation. This public declaration followed Trump's assertion that the Biden administration had neglected the astronauts, leaving them in precarious conditions for far too long. While SpaceX had developed plans for retrieving Wilmore and Williams, the timeline kept shifting. Initially, there were hopes they could return by February 2025, however, delays pushed the expectation to March or early April. A key factor in this hold-up was the need for replacement astronauts to arrive at the ISS, a standard protocol to ensure safe and effective crew transitions. As Musk noted, the launch of these replacement astronauts was postponed to allow for necessary preparations. The political undertones of this incident cannot be overlooked. The Trump administration's focus on efficiency and cost-cutting in government operations, particularly through the newly established Department of Government Efficiency DOGE, has put NASA under scrutiny. Acting NASA Administrator Janet Petro confirmed that DOGE personnel would conduct a review of the agency's financial dealings, raising concerns among lawmakers about potential conflicts of interest, especially given Musk's close ties to the space agency. As the situation continues to unfold, the implications for NASA's operational integrity and the future of public-private partnerships in space exploration are becoming clearer. Critics, including Representative Grace Meng and other congressional members, have raised alarms about the potential for insider information to benefit Musk's interests at the expense of taxpayer dollars and competitive fairness in the space industry. In addition to the stranded astronauts, there are broader implications for NASA's ongoing missions. Recent reports noted a health scare involving another astronaut, highlighting the physical toll that extended missions can take on personnel. As NASA navigates these challenges, it will need to address both the immediate concerns of returning Wilmore and Williams safely and the longer-term ramifications of its partnerships and operational protocols. Looking ahead, the successful retrieval of the stranded astronauts could serve as a pivotal moment for both NASA and SpaceX, reinforcing the importance of robust contingency planning in space missions. However, the ongoing scrutiny from lawmakers and the evolving political landscape signal that the path forward may be fraught with challenges as the space agency balances its mission objectives with the demands of transparency and accountability. As the situation develops, all eyes will be on the efficacy of governmental oversight and the capacity of private enterprises to meet the expectations set by public agencies. In a remarkable turn of events, NASA astronaut Matthew Dominic, along with his crewmates, has been released from the hospital following a temporary health scare after their return from space. On October 25, 2024, the crew, which included fellow NASA astronauts Michael Barrett and Jeanette Epps and Russian cosmonaut Alexander Grebenkin, safely parachuted into the Gulf of Mexico as part of their mission aboard SpaceX's Dragon Endeavour. However, shortly after their landing, they were transported to a local hospital for precautionary medical assessments due to unspecified concerns. NASA has confirmed that while 3 members of the crew were swiftly cleared and returned to Houston, one astronaut whose identity was not disclosed required further observation. The agency emphasized that the astronaut is in good health and will continue normal post-flight reconditioning alongside the other crew members. This incident underscores the significance of medical monitoring following space missions, especially given the physiological impacts that microgravity can have on astronauts. The crew's return to Earth was delayed for 2 months due to a combination of factors, including complications linked to Boeing's Starliner spacecraft and adverse weather conditions from Hurricane Milton. The astronauts had spent over 6 months aboard the International Space Station ISS, a time during which they conducted various scientific experiments and contributed to ongoing research in microgravity. Meanwhile, another NASA astronaut, Sunita Williams, currently finds herself in a different predicament. She remains aboard the ISS alongside fellow astronaut Butch Wilmore, having been stranded in space due to technical issues with the Starliner capsule. Scheduled to return to Earth on March 19, 2025 after spending nearly 8 months in space, Williams faces the daunting task of readjusting to Earth's gravity. Both she and Wilmore have expressed optimism about their return, with Wilmore humorously commenting, "Floating in space is a lot of fun, I like my crazy hair." As they prepare for their return, Williams is set to undergo an extensive rehabilitation program to regain strength and bone density. Living in microgravity leads to significant bodily changes, including fluid redistribution that causes puffy faces and thinner limbs. The readjustment to gravity will be challenging, with Wilmore noting that even lifting a pencil will feel like a workout. This sentiment highlights the physical challenges faced by astronauts transitioning back to life on Earth. Research indicates that prolonged exposure to microgravity can lead to serious health issues, including cartilage degradation. A recent study published by the European Space Agency suggests that engaging in jumping exercises may mitigate some of these risks. Preliminary findings show that such exercises can promote healthier cartilage, an important consideration as space agencies prepare for future long-duration missions, including potential journeys to Mars. As NASA continues its exploration endeavors, the experiences of astronauts like Dominic Williams and Wilmore emphasize the complex interplay between space travel and human health. With innovations in spacecraft technology and a deeper understanding of the physiological effects of spaceflight, the agency aims to address these challenges head-on, paving the way for safer missions in the future. The return of astronauts to Earth is not just a journey home but a critical step in the ongoing quest to push the boundaries of human exploration beyond our planet. As humanity pushes the boundaries of exploration beyond our planet, the question of sustaining life in the harsh environments of space looms ever larger. Recent advances in the understanding of plant growth and microgravity could hold the key to successful long-term human habitation on extraterrestrial bodies such as the Moon and Mars. NASA's ongoing research into how plants adapt to the challenges of space is not only vital for future missions but also offers surprising benefits for agriculture on Earth. Plants, like all living organisms, require essential elements to thrive: food, water, air, light, and space. However, replicating these conditions in the microgravity environment of space presents unique challenges. For instance, the act of watering plants becomes a complicated task when there is no gravity to direct the flow of water. Despite these hurdles, NASA's Biological and Physical Sciences Division has made significant strides in demonstrating that it is possible for plants to grow in space provided their needs are meticulously managed. One of the most studied species in these experiments is Arabidopsis thaliana, a small flowering plant related to mustard greens. Its complete genome sequencing and compact size make it a model organism for researchers. Astronauts aboard the International Space Station ISS have reported not only the scientific value of these experiments but also their personal enjoyment in caring for the plants, finding it a relaxing diversion from their demanding duties. Interestingly, crew members have even noted changes in their taste perceptions, enjoying the flavor of spicy chili peppers grown in the station's controlled environment. The significance of these plant studies extends beyond the confines of the ISS. By identifying plant species that can thrive in various extraterrestrial conditions, scientists hope to develop sustainable agricultural practices for long-duration space missions. This research could eventually lead to fresh and nutritious food sources for astronauts, significantly enhancing their quality of life during extended stays away from Earth. Moreover, the knowledge gleaned from growing plants in space may also have profound implications for agriculture on Earth. Understanding how to cultivate crops under extreme conditions can inform strategies for improving crop resilience in the face of climate change and other environmental stressors. As researchers turn their attention to the moon, where gravity is only 1/6 that of Earth and the challenges of radiation and resource limitations become apparent, the lessons learned from ISS experiments will be invaluable. Controlled environments or growth chambers will be essential for cultivating plants on the lunar surface, and ongoing experiments will help in developing the necessary technologies to ensure success. Meanwhile, in a completely different realm of research, NASA's X-59 quiet supersonic research aircraft has made headlines with its recent successful afterburner test. This aircraft, designed to reduce the noise associated with supersonic flight, showcased its capabilities by generating distinctive Mach diamonds during a nighttime test at Lockheed Martin's facilities in California. The modified F414 GE100 engine performed as expected, producing 22,000 pounds of thrust to help the aircraft reach cruising speeds of Mach 1.4 at high altitudes. The X-59 program aims to gather data on supersonic flight to inform future commercial aviation, potentially leading to quieter flights that can cross land without disturbing those below. As the program progresses, engineers will continue to evaluate various systems for electromagnetic interference and conduct further tests to ensure the aircraft meets rigorous safety and performance standards. In a separate but equally intriguing area of study, researchers from Oklahoma State University are collaborating with NASA on projects ranging from cybersecurity to high-temperature material coatings. These interdisciplinary efforts showcase the breadth of innovation taking place within engineering and technological research, highlighting how academic institutions can contribute to space exploration initiatives. For example, one project focuses on developing infrasound sensors for use in balloon missions on Venus aimed at recording seismic activity in the planet's harsh atmosphere. Another initiative seeks to implement a cybersecurity mesh architecture to enhance security protocols in a digital landscape increasingly vulnerable to threats. Finally, recent findings from NASA suggest that large-scale human engineering projects such as the Three Gorges Dam in China may even have measurable impacts on Earth's rotation. This phenomenon, while minuscule, underscores the intricate connections between human activity and planetary dynamics, challenging scientists to consider the long-term implications of our engineering feats. As we continue to investigate the mysteries of space and our planet, the interconnectedness of these various research efforts becomes increasingly clear. The knowledge gained from growing plants in space, advancing supersonic flight technology, and understanding human impacts on Earth's systems will play pivotal roles in shaping the future of exploration and sustainability. Looking ahead, the implications of these studies could lead to innovative solutions that benefit both space missions and life on Earth. NASA's Mars Perseverance rover continues to intrigue scientists and space enthusiasts alike with its latest discoveries on the red planet, particularly an unusual rock formation dubbed Serpentine Lake. Captured on February 1, 2025 during Sol 1405 of the Mars 2020 mission. The image reveals a striking texture reminiscent of a cookies and cream dessert. This captivating rock texture, alongside the high abundance of serpentine minerals, suggests significant alteration by water, an essential element in the search for signs of past microbial life. Perseverance has recently undertaken a series of unconventional drives retracing its path to investigate newly identified rock types that may be among the oldest found on Mars. This exploration is part of the rover's Crater Rim campaign, aimed at better understanding the geological processes of early Mars and identifying ancient habitable environments. Each outcrop examined has presented new insights, much to the delight of the science team. After successfully acquiring a core sample from a rock rich in pyroxene, Perseverance moved on to Serpentine Lake, where the intriguing mineral signatures suggested a promising opportunity for further analysis. However, the mission has not been without its challenges. During attempts to core the Cat Arm Reservoir, Perseverance encountered rocks so fragile that they crumbled into powder instead of yielding a solid sample. This issue is not unprecedented for the rover, which faced a similar predicament during its initial coring attempts. The team is now hopeful that the Serpentine Lake rock will provide a more robust core sample, allowing for detailed scientific interrogation of the mineral composition that hints at a watery past. The rover's next steps involve returning to the abrasion patch at Serpentine Lake for a fresh attempt at core sampling. If successful, Perseverance plans to conduct additional scans of the area before heading downhill to Broom Point, where an extensive sequence of layered rock awaits. The anticipation of new findings keeps the momentum of exploration alive, as scientists continue to unravel the complex history of Mars. In parallel to these developments, discussions around the future leadership of NASA are gaining traction. Jared Isaacman, nominated to lead the agency, has articulated a vision centered on Mars exploration. His remarks emphasize the profound implications of sending humans to another planet, underscoring the technological advancements that such missions would necessitate. Isaacman advocates for a Moon-to-Mars strategy aiming to utilize lunar exploration as a stepping stone for human missions to Mars. As he prepares for Senate confirmation, Isaacman's statements reflect a commitment to inspiring future generations and advancing commercial spaceflight. He has called for a reasonable investment of resources in Mars exploration, suggesting that even partial success could set humanity on an unprecedented trajectory. Given the current uncertainties within NASA, his leadership could usher in a new era of exploration and innovation. The convergence of Perseverance's discoveries on Mars and the potential shift in NASA's leadership points to an exciting future for planetary exploration. As the rover ventures deeper into the Martian landscape in search of signs of life, the space community watches closely, eager for the next groundbreaking revelation that could redefine our understanding of the red planet and our place in the universe. In a historic leap for space exploration, Nokia, in collaboration with Intuitive Machines, is set to deploy the first-ever cellular network on the Moon. This groundbreaking initiative is scheduled for launch later this month from NASA's Kennedy Space Center, marking a pivotal moment in the quest to establish a sustainable human presence beyond Earth. The upcoming mission aims to explore the lunar South Pole, an area believed to contain valuable water ice, while simultaneously testing a fully operational 4G cellular network designed to withstand the harsh conditions of space. The deployment of this cellular network represents a significant advancement in lunar communications. Historically, communication technologies relied on point-to-point radio systems that required a clear line of sight between antennas. Such systems were sufficient when lunar missions consisted of a singular spacecraft or lander transmitting minimal data back to Earth. However, with NASA's Artemis program poised to return astronauts to the Moon by 2028 and establish a permanent habitat by the 2030s, the need for a robust communications infrastructure becomes critical. Thierry Klein, president of Nokia Bell Labs Solutions Research, articulated the challenges and opportunities presented by this transition. The shift from mostly point-to-point radio communications to a full-blown cell network architecture should result in higher data transfer speeds, better range, and an increased number of devices that could be connected simultaneously, Klein explained. The development of this network involved creating components that are resilient against radiation, extreme temperatures, and the vibrations associated with launch and landing. Nokia has ingeniously devised a compact network in a box, which includes all essential components for a cellular network except for the antenna and power source, which will be powered by the lander's solar panels. During the IM-2 mission, the 4G network will facilitate communication between the lunar lander and its accompanying rover and hopper. However, the operational window for this network is limited, as the spacecraft are expected to cease functioning once the lunar night sets in. Nevertheless, Nokia has ambitious plans for a more expansive 4G or even 5G network that could support future lunar habitats and their surrounding environments. This expansion aligns with the envisioned growth of a lunar economy, potentially enabling cell communications integrated into astronaut suits for enhanced operational capabilities. Despite the excitement surrounding this initiative, there are concerns regarding its potential impact on radio astronomy. The frequencies used for LTE networks largely overlap with those reserved for radio astronomical observations, Chris Dupree, Deputy Spectrum Manager at the National Radio Astronomy Observatory NRAO, emphasized the potential for interference, stating, "A full-scale cell network on the Moon would add further noise to the night sky." Additionally, regulatory challenges loom as the current LTE bands are not internationally allocated for lunar use, necessitating a waiver for the IM-2 mission. Klein acknowledged this hurdle, indicating that alternative frequency bands are being considered for future deployments. The implications of Nokia's lunar cellular network extend beyond mere communication. They hint at a future where technology not only supports human life on the Moon but integrates seamlessly with terrestrial systems. If you happen to bring your smartphone to the Moon and it somehow survived both the trip and the brutal lunar conditions, it should work on the Moon just like it does here on Earth, Klein remarked, suggesting that a lunar SIM card could allow devices to connect to the network. As humanity stands on the brink of a new era of lunar exploration, the successful deployment of this 4G network will not only enhance communication capabilities on the Moon but also set the stage for a future where permanent human habitation becomes a reality. With NASA's Artemis program and other missions on the horizon, the developments from this initiative will undoubtedly shape the landscape of lunar exploration and beyond, paving the way for a new chapter in our relationship with the cosmos.